Decorating your home can be really expensive. One of my favorite hacks is shopping at the thrift store. You can get some great quality pieces that may just need a little bit of DIY. So come with me today, I'll show you how you can decorate your home for less, and don't forget to paint that subscribe button. Now our first stop today is going to be at the Restore. If you've never been to the Restore before, it is an awesome thrift store. They have lots of furniture here and building supplies. So we're gonna go see what we can find. So let's check it out. So there's this decor section over at my Restore, and I was looking at the pictures and the lamps. Found this lamp, you guys. This is a really modern style lamp. I know I've seen something very similar on high-end sites. They want $10 for it. We're gonna get it, update the paint, and it's gonna look completely brand new. With everything I pick up at the thrift store, I always have to clean it really well, and this lamp was no exception. So I came through and wiped it down really well. Next, I needed to prep it for spray paint. The area where the light bulb goes in, I'm just going to tape that up. And then for the cord, I'm going to tape that. I'll put the rest of the cord in a sack, and I'll just add tape around it. I'm gonna spray paint the entire lamp with an ivory colored spray paint. I wanted this lamp to have a lot of texture to it, so I came in with a multicolored texture spray that was in a similar color family with the ivory. Next, I added in a stone texture spray. When you use this, you have to make sure you have a color underneath. This will give your piece a stone appearance, and you really don't need to add that much. After that, I removed the tape and sack from my lamp. And here's how the lamp looks styled in my home. There's so many materials here. I love that you can get things like countertops. These are just ones that maybe have a few flaws to it, but you could paint them, make them your own. You get these 12-foot countertops for $35. There's so many different tile options here at the Restore. They're usually discarded tiles or ones they can't sell. I really like these. I think these would make perfect bases for a project that I want to do. They come in a bunch of different finishes. Now the only problem is they say they only sell them by the box. Sorry for all the noise. At the other Restore that we shop at, they sell them individually. So I'm gonna see if I can just buy one of them, but I may not be able to. So next I want to check out the light fixtures. That's another one of my favorite sections, but I have an idea in mind for a centerpiece that I want to try out. So let's go see what they have in the light fixture section. You can find really modern options like this one for affordable prices. Like this light fixture right here is only $20, and they actually have two of them. But the thing I'm gonna be looking at today are the light shades. Now these are priced at just $1 each, and you may be wondering what am I going to do with these? These are gonna make some perfect planters. So I wanna find 3 that I love. I think of all the ones that I'm looking at, these are my favorite, and I'm gonna put them over here on my tile to see what they're gonna look like. I think I wanna pick up 3. So let's DIY this. With my tile, I'm gonna add a little bit of finishing detail to the edges because it has those rough tile edges. So I'm gonna be using a gold rub and buff color and just apply it on with a foam brush. So I have my dollar lampshades that I'm gonna use. And since they have the hole at the bottom, I'm gonna add in these Dollar Tree plastic containers to make sure nothing goes out that bottom opening. Then I'm gonna be adding in some Dollar Tree rocks that I have. You could see that I'm just using ones that I already had in my collection. I have some white ones as well as these kind of multicolored neutral ones. I picked up these florals at Hobby Lobby, and I'm going to cut off the bottom stem so that they're a little bit shorter, and then I'll add one into each of my containers. Once I got the plants in place, I added in a little bit more rocks, and I'll style these on the tile piece on my dining room table. I think it's important to do my part by reusing materials I find at the thrift store because it's just better for the environment. And one company that goes above and beyond to help better the planet is Seed, and I want to thank Seed for sponsoring today's video. I've been using Seed's DSO1 Daily Symbiotic, which is a 24-strand daily 2-in-1 probiotic and prebiotic. Why I love using Seed's DSO1 is because it's formulated based on science. It promotes heart health, immune function, and skin health, which are all really important to me. I've really been trying to prioritize my health, and Seed's DSO1 has been a big part of that. One of the biggest problems with other brands of probiotics is they'll break down before even reaching your gut. And if that's the case, they're not even going to have the chance to work. DSO1 has a capsule within a capsule system that essentially helps to protect the bacteria and keep it alive until it reaches your colon. So it actually has the chance to work within your body by supporting your health, skin, and regularity. I love that Seed uses sustainable packaging, and your package will come with a refillable glass jar and a travel container. If you're interested in checking out Seed, I'll put the link for you down in the description box. You could also use my code Liz15 for 15% off your order. So we haven't gone outside before, but our restore has all of these outdoor tiles. I found these sink bases, you guys. Now they're $50 each, which is a little bit pricey, but how gorgeous would this be as a bowl that you could have on your coffee table? So I just found these square tiles. They have this really cool pattern on them. I'm thinking we can make a wall art out of these. I'll put the price of how much they were because I'm not really sure exactly how much these cost. So these tiles were pretty interesting. Originally, I thought I was going to make them into wall art, but as I was working with them, I thought they would make a really cool tray. So I cleaned them off and put them next to each other. Next, I wanted to create a frame. So I had this in my garage. It was just a small piece of wood trim. I measured the wood pieces so that they would fit snugly around my tile pieces. Next, I'm going to use E6000 and put that along the edges of my tile pieces. And then I'm going to place the tile pieces together. Next, I'm going to use E6000 to add my wood trim to the edges. I cut 2 long pieces to put on the edge to finish off the frame. Once you cut your boards with the hacksaw, you may want to come in with some sandpaper to make sure you clean up the edges. And I'll use E6000 to attach these pieces to my tray. Now with E6000, you want to make sure you let it sit and dry overnight. Once it had a chance to dry, I came back in the next day, flipped it over, and added additional E6000 to the backside. Just because these are tile and they're a little bit heavy, you want to make sure that they hold in place well. And this is how I styled the tray on my coffee table. These little square tiles would make great coasters. If you've made it this far in the video, thank you so much for watching. Comment the word of the day, which is thrifting. Before I blow away, I had to tell you guys the awesome prices these tiles were. Now this large tile was $1. These smaller tiles, this one was only 34 cents and I got 4 of them. These coaster tiles were only 6 cents, 24 cents for all 4. Like that's less than a quarter, such a good deal. I think we found everything we could find here at the Restore. So next we're gonna head to Blessings Abound. So I'm ready to go inside at Blessings, hoping to find just some home decor items or items that are really gonna be affordable that we can style in our home. One of the affordable things that you can always pick up at the thrift store are mirrors. A lot of times you'll find really cool old ones. Like this one is under $20. It's wood, it's gorgeous. It's definitely great quality. So make sure you check out the mirrors before buying them in a store. I love finding the decor that nobody wants at the thrift store and turning it into something really useful. These little mini lampshades, look how many there are at my thrift store. Nobody's picking these up. They're only $1 each. So I'm gonna do a DIY with these. Now I'm getting 2 different sizes. This one's a little bit larger than this one. So let's DIY these.
So the first thing I'm going to do is remove all of the fabric on these lampshades, which that was easier said than done. I had to use some scissors. I also used my wire cutters, which are always my trusty tool, to take off all of the fabric that was on here. And I repeated that with the other lampshade. After I removed the fabric, I needed to cut off that middle piece that holds the light bulb on. So to do that, I used my wire cutters on both of the edges until I was able to get it off. Next, I'm going to wipe down both of the pieces. If you have any extra fabric or strings, you can always try to sand that off. You want to get it as clean as possible. I'm going to spray paint these lampshade bases with 2 coats of a black matte spray paint. So I'll spray paint one side, flip them over, and spray paint the other side. I'm also going to be using these wood slices that they have out right now at Dollar Tree. Now these come with some hangers on them that have staples that are attached to the wood. So you are going to have to use your wire cutters to pull those out. Next, I'll put E6000 on the top of my wire lampshades, and I'm going to place them on the wood slices. And I'll repeat those with both of my wood slices. Now, if you haven't guessed already, I'm creating risers that you could use for plants. You could also use these for candles or anything to elevate your decor in your home.
This decorative basket very much looks like Pottery Barn would be $5. It would be great as a centerpiece. You could also hang it on your wall. So I always check out the furniture. This cube's pretty cool. It's $16 and it's got storage inside. This would make a great table in between like 2 nice comfy chairs. One of the bigger trends we're noticing right now are blue and white dishes, pottery. We're seeing it in vases at Pottery Barn and other stores. And here at my thrift store, they have so many dishes in that blue and white color scheme. So I want to do a DIY with these, maybe something beautiful in my kitchen. I'm finding several really pretty teacups priced at around $1 or $2. This one's $1.50. So I want to make a tray. So I found this blue and white plate that I'm going to use to make kind of a pedestal tray, and I'll show you how I put it all together.
I'm going to start by spray painting my base just with 2 coats of a matte white spray paint. Once that dried, I removed all of the labels from my cups and my plates, and I'm going to use E6000 to attach the base to my plate. Just make sure when you put your plate on that you try to get it as centered as possible. Again, let this sit overnight. E6000 needs that time to bond. I picked up 3 different herb plants that I could keep out in my kitchen, and I'm just going to plant those into my blue and white cups. This is the perfect piece to put out in your kitchen, on your countertop, and anytime you need fresh herbs, they'll be available.
Now that it's spring, I definitely have to check out the gardening section. I had my eye on this right here. It's only $2, but how cute is this planter? I definitely think we could do a DIY with this.
This planter needed some cleaning. I came in with some Goo Gone because there was some label residue left on there and just kind of cleaned it up as best I could. I also rinsed it down with water, let that dry, and then I'm gonna come in with some nautical rope. I will put a link in the description box to the nautical rope, and I'm just gonna make sure that I put my hot glue on the back and the edges, and I'm going to tightly wrap it around the base of my container. Then I'm going to add in 2 mason jars. You can pick up these mason jars at Dollar Tree or any store, but I thought this would be the perfect container to put silverware in. Whenever I'm having guests over, they can easily pull the silverware out.
All right, so I always check out the home decorating books because I love using them to sit out. They make great coffee table books and they're really affordable. This book is a great example of a coffee table book. Now it's priced at $5, but if you open up the cover, take it off, it's really pretty. It's got this beautiful blue color and it's definitely an interesting book. They just put out some new items at our thrift store, and these are CB2 brands, so sometimes you don't even have to find dupes, you can actually find the actual stuff. So this is a CB2 planter, and this is from CB2 as well. So I'm gonna get these and style them together. This one's only $4, and then the smaller planter is $3.
So the rocks that I'm going to be putting into these containers are from Dollar Tree. They're really cute and a little bit different than ones I typically use. So I'm going to fill up each of my containers with these rocks. Then I'm going to put in a succulent plant that I picked up at Dollar Tree. And here's how the planters look styled in my decor.
I'm trying to decide if this vase is something I need in my life. I feel like it's so unique. It's this lopsided vase. It's only $2.50. I think I'm gonna get it. Another thing I've noticed in a lot of decor pieces are scallop trim pieces. So I found this bowl. It's $5, has a really cool shape to it, pretty large size, and I think it would be great as a decorative piece.
With the scallop bowl, I'm going to remove the label and then I'm going to spray paint the outside with 2 coats of a matte white spray paint. Whenever you're spray painting bowls, you want to make sure you do a really thin coat. Otherwise, the paint's going to run down and it's just not going to look as nice. I'm also going to do 2 coats on the inside of the bowl. I added in some marble rocks from Dollar Tree, and then I had 2 other succulent plants that I picked up at Hobby Lobby. I don't think you would ever guess this bowl was from the thrift store.
So I always check out the basket section. My thrift store always has quite a few. Now this one, I'm not sure how this one's gonna turn out. Now I love the structure of it. I love that it has a lid. It's a little bit pricey at $12, but I wanna try out a new painting technique and see if I like it. It may totally fail, so let's DIY it.
I wasn't really sure how this basket was going to turn out, and I wanted a dark kind of brown color that I could use for this. I really didn't have the color on hand that I was wanting. So one of the things I always do when I need a color is I just mix colors that I have to get my desired color. So I had this really deep brown color. I lightened it up with white by just mixing that into my paint. I love getting sample paints at stores. You can get any color you want and they last forever. I'm also adding in some brown acrylic paint to this color. Once I was happy with the color, I started with a cream sample paint, putting that on the bottom because I wanted this to have 2 tones. I wanted the cream as well as the brown. And as I was doing 2 colors, I thought, okay, what are you doing? You need to do 1 color at a time. So I stopped with the cream and I just came in and started doing the brown. So I left the areas that I wanted to be cream and just came in with the brown. Anytime you're painting a basket and you need to cover up, like I needed to cover up that green and red, I did have to go over those areas twice because you can still see that red coming through. So you want to make sure you get a nice thick coat of paint on there so it really will adhere. I also painted the lid with this kind of brownish gray color. Now, since I was just having this wicker color on the top, I didn't have to be as careful to get everything covered because sometimes when you paint wicker, it actually looks good to have a little bit of that basket color coming through. So I let that sit out and dry completely. Once it was dry, then I came back in and did the cream color, just trying to make sure that I didn't get it on the brown. Now I did a little bit, so I did have to come back in and fix the brown as I was going, but you just want to try to get your color on there and make it as neat as possible. I guess you could always tape this up, but I didn't feel like that was necessary. And here's a look at how the basket looks styled in my home. I hope you guys had fun thrifting with me today. I would love for you to vote now and let me know which of these DIYs was your favorite. So just leave me a comment down below with the number you prefer. Don't be afraid to try that project you've always wanted to try. And remember, it doesn't have to be perfect. I hope you subscribe because I want to see you back here.
Bye.